Hello, this is Sophia Rose, the Practical Mystic from Catalyst Resources. And I want to explain to you why doing daily energy work practices is so important. Now, I have quite a few videos on energy routines. EFT, Brain Gym, Donna Eden's energy medicine and energy psychology work, etc. And some of my own stuff. But I haven't really explained why you should do this in the way that I do with my clients. Just like we now in these modern times have learned that we should exercise regularly, if not daily. We should stretch regularly, if not daily. You can see that yoga is the rage everywhere, even in the corporate world. Energy maintenance is the next wave. The fact that we are energy beings is a very old concept. It's ancient because we were energy beings before we became manifest in physical form. Or you could say we were spiritual beings who now are here having a human experience. Even Einstein, way back then, said everything is energy, and that includes us. So there is a whole energy anatomy that needs to have health maintenance, just like the rest of us, just like brushing our teeth and stretching and all the other things we do to stay well and functioning. So I'm just going to briefly touch upon what the energy anatomy is and how these routines can help you in a myriad of ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So basically, there are things that you might be familiar with, and then I'm going to talk about a couple of esoteric ones. There are the chakras. I'm not going to go into great detail on each one of these. That will be something I can give you handouts on, or obviously work with you in person on. But the basic definition is these are vortexes of energy that are outside of the body, in the front of the back. They spin in a certain way. There's 7 primary ones. You'll see many diagrams of these in Hinduism in particular. There's also a number of them above the top of the head, maybe 12, that go along with the 12 dimensions of reality. Woo! We're getting, very woo-woo now. But as I said, I'm going to try to harness it in, keep it simple and succinct. Where each one of these is located along the spine, it has a certain color, a certain frequency, and it rules the health and functioning of that part of the body. But it also rules certain emotions and areas of life. So obviously that's extremely important. You could say that the life force, the spirit, comes in through these energy centers, the prana as it's called in certain traditions, the ki, the chi as it's called in martial arts. These then interact with the meridians. I'm sure you've heard of that in Chinese acupuncture. There are 12 primary meridians and about 8 lesser known meridians. But then there are just hundreds of points throughout the body going along these energy lines like a superhighway, similar to the nervous system. Not visibly seen so well, but nowadays there is instrumentation where they can actually be detected in the body. And there's a lot of scientific study and research happening with all of this stuff, and it's very exciting. So it's being backed up with science and medicine. So the meridians are connected to every organ and every gland, the whole endocrine system in your body, and feed energy into those. Chinese medicine is extremely complex, so I wouldn't even touch upon that in this video. And it's not even really for the lay person. But a lot of these energy routines of tapping and rubbing are stimulating the meridians so that they flow in the proper direction, so that they're balanced in how much energy each one of them has, and so that they work together in unison and harmony. And that's how the whole system works well, too. Then we have the aura. Obviously, everyone's heard of your aura, right? But how do you get an aura? Well, the aura emanates partly from the meridians and the chakras spinning. and generating this electromagnetic field around us, plus all the other electromagnetic activity that we have going on in our bodies and brains. And this creates layers of energy and color, etc. It's important to keep that cleaned out and strong, because every thought and emotion we have gets stored in this sort of computer memory around us, this biocomputer, as well as other people's. We also live in an unprecedented time where we are bombarded by electromagnetic field pollution, computers, cell phones, musical devices, cars, etc. Especially young people, you are always hooked up. And that is very detrimental to the natural energy and frequency and functioning of the body. You need to get out in nature, by the way, more, and take your shoes off and connect with the earth energy. That's another whole topic and video. And then lesser known is something called the Hara line. Now they do discuss this and work with this intimately in martial arts. It's along your center of gravity, but it's also about, in spiritual terms, being connected to the divine, really having your energy centered and aligned and being grounded into the earth, and all those layers of your aura, which represent all the parts of you, are centered and focused. You know, when you say you feel centered, you can just focus your intention. Well, that's what the Hara line is. And there are exercises that can actually help you do that. And in martial arts, it's utilized often, and especially by the teacher. And so those are the primary components, and the brain and the nervous system come into play as well. So we also live in an unprecedented time of stress, not just the physical stress that our ancestors had, but mental, emotional, and psychological stress. And even the existential stress of the questions of who are we and what the heck are we doing here and what's going on in our crazy, chaotic, out of control world. So these exercises address all of that as well. And you may have noticed how many people, it seems to be an epidemic, now have ADHD and autism and those kinds of things, where if they applied these simple techniques that are very quick and easy to learn every day, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, anytime you need it, it would make a world of difference. So do look at the other videos, contact me for more information, and come and work with me. My website is catalystresource.com, which is listed at the bottom of the video. I do many other things besides energy medicine and energy psychology, but that is something I incorporate in almost all my other work. But I do counseling, coaching, intuitive readings, classes, etc. I look forward to serving you and helping you. Namaste.